Hello, my dear friends. So thank you for being back for the second installment reading of Love Above and Beyond. I'm enjoying sharing passages of this book with you in hopes that it will bring you the blessings that it is bringing to me to share it. So I promised last time that I would do a quick explanation. There's a subtitle, The Sweet, Creamy Stuff in the Middle. Love Above and Beyond. And what does that mean? And where in the world did that come from? Well, I was guided to use the sweet, creamy stuff in the middle, and in the introduction there's a bit of a metaphor, which I'll explain just briefly. But you know, as we go through life, kind of reminded me, this whole experience reminded me of one of those, you know, those filled donuts that you that you get at just about anywhere, where they have that white frosting, kind of yummy cream inside, you know. And I tend to I don't eat them too often anymore, but when I do, I tend to eat them in my car. And you know, you take a bite, and there's this anticipation of getting there. You know, you take one bite, and it might be a little stale, or it might be a little boring, or it might be kind of dry, and it might tend to start falling apart. But you keep going, because the reason you keep going is, you know, that sweet, creamy center, the good stuff. You know, isn't that really the way life is for us? Is that we're always in anticipation of the good stuff, and our challenge is to be in anticipation of the good stuff, but at the same time, not being bored, not just anticipating that sweet, creamy stuff, but enjoying every bite along the way. So that's a big lesson that I got from this book, of how deeply we're being asked to savor every bite, whether it's the sweet, creamy stuff or whether it's not. And that's what I learned, and that's a lot of what the messages from this book are. Savor. So that's where that comes from. That's a question I get a lot of the time, but let's get right down to reading some portions of this book. This is passage 7. But like a boat running up on the rocky shoals for a long time, I lost my true north. I got stuck. All the while spending my nights running back and forth between worlds, my life went on in between. A living I had to make, friends and family deserved my love and attention. There were books to write, dogs to walk. It wasn't that I didn't want to do all of these things, I did. But like any other addiction, I suppose, my thoughts were consumed moment by moment with my next trip to the other place, and to my love, Daniel. That was my earthly challenge, to travel when I could, to observe myself and live life in the moment and with meaning. But like a boat running up on rocky shoals for a long time, I lost my true north. I got stuck. My earthly progress was hampered, but I didn't care. 1 minute I wanted to stay in the other place forever and not come back at all. In another minute I tried to chalk the whole astral travel experience up to nonsense and fantasy. Travel was way too unpredictable, after all. I'd never been very comfortable with unpredictable. I like to know things. I like to know how much the electric bill is going to run, down to $1 or $2, and I like to know where my keys and my sunglasses are. And please call before you come by and visit, so I can straighten up and have your favorite tea or sweet treat waiting at the house before you arrive. And there's always an umbrella in the car and sunglasses in my bag for an outing. But this whole astral travel experience taught me that even with a backup pair of sunglasses on hand and an umbrella in tow, I might still end up in the blinding sun or in the driving rain unprotected. That was the balance act at hand, knowing how much of the other place I could take in before losing pieces of my life forever, creating a very unfair exchange. Thank you for joining me for that next reading, and I will continue to share pieces of this book with you bit by bit until it all comes together. such as upcoming passage 12. What we create in life is our soul's mirror, a template and springboard for our growth once we reach the next plane. Or passage 16. I wore the simple lavender gown. It was a bit long, so I held it up and tried not to trip as I climbed the stairs to the other side. And passage 24. Few of us ever really know precisely when we will leave this earth, or when we will lose a loved one close to us. But Daniel and I knew. Thank you so much for listening. Many blessings to you, and I look forward to the next passage with you. Meanwhile, blessings to you.